Good evening, fellow Pico and Nano Reefers. This is the a much needed update on the Fluval spec 2.6. The question here tonight is to dose or not to dose. That is the question. This system has been running. Next month will be a year that it's actually been running. The 28th of February is when it actually got wet, and I started stocking shortly after. Uh, the thing is, die off acros. It's shaded. I need to do lots of trimming. Um, Everything's stinging each other. Everything's just, the parameters are swinging up and down. I can't keep it stable. I'm doing 2 water changes a week, and it's not keeping it stable enough. I'm also thinking about doing the upgrade on the top pump, something stronger to break the top more. My pH is perfect to where it needs to be, but I'm thinking of basically of trimming everything down and start dosing 2 parts, putting more swing in the more flow in the bottom. Even though it's getting a good type of flow, you can see the polyps on this acro just moving, waving pretty good. Then another thing, it's like things are growing out of the rock that I didn't expect to grow, like this cloves. I know that's invasive. I don't want that in my tank. I actually want, something that I control. That's something that I put up there. Stuff stinging each other. Stuff is dying because it's overshaded. Everything's growing, which is a plus. But then again, it gives the headache of, do I need to, do I want it to encrust everything and grow over everything? Or do I want to keep it where it's manageable and I can see and enjoy my corals, and the corals have a nice place to grow? Some stuff actually that I thought it was goner, I chucked it in the back. I don't know if you can see that. That's my graveyard, I call it. Stuff that I just, that I feel it's dead. But for some reason, I was cleaning out the other day, and I so happened to find this tiny little piece of jack-o'-lantern. It made it. It's super small, it's pin head size, but it's I left it. I took it out and actually glued it back because it's making it. This tiny little piece of Superman acro right there. It's actually of Montipora. I mean, it's growing back. So again, I'm leaving it. Everything seems to be doing pretty damn well. The growth is good, but then again, the stinging with each other is just, it's getting to me. But growth, I can't complain. Growth is actually pretty well. Pretty well for a 2.6 gallon tank. Stuff seems to be just ticking me off because it's getting stung or it's getting shaded. This Joe's purple watermelon right here was getting stung by this Superman mushroom, so I took out the mushroom. This Rhodactis, for some reason its bubbles are down, but his Rhodactis was stinging this chalice right here. The bottom of the skirt of the Rhodactis is hitting this acro, stinging that. These cloves are stinging that Millipora right there. Everything for some reason is just, I'm not liking it anymore. This Gorgania is being stung by this Pacillipora, I'm sorry. This chalice was stinging this acan. Killed those 2 acans that were right there. Stuff like so. This cabbage coral, killing off this basically just finished killing off this green slimer that I had growing and was one of my favorite acros in the tank. These pink booby chalice is doing great. This Tyree True Watermelon chalice is great. This Dragon's Breath is perfect. This branching Galaxy Coral, that thing was like a 1/16 of an, I want to say 3/16 of an inch, not a 16th. 3/16 of an inch, super small frag, and it's grown a lot. And one thing that I'm not having good luck with are these euphyllias. They just keep dying on me. I don't know what the heck. Even though I have this flower pot right here, this Evelopora, it's actually doing freaking well. It started out with a tiny little piece that was basically, I want to say, an 1/8 inch little dome, and it had 3 little polyps, and now it's just overbushed right there. All these, all these acros are growing well. SPS is growing well, encrusting all over, growing all over the place. It's just growth that I wasn't expecting, and shading that I wasn't expecting. I figured, it would be a long time for it to start getting shaded. Like this is all getting shaded, so it's dying off. Just the tips that get just enough light. This one right here is getting stung by this Postulipora. The acro, look how bushy that is. Jeez, and all these pieces are actually very small. This Laker cap was getting killed over here. Actually, I had it on the bottom on this side of the Rhodactis. I actually had it right here, and it was just getting hammered by the Rhodactis. Same thing with that poor cap. Look at that red cap is just being stung by that mushroom right there. But it is what it is when you have a 2.6 gallon little reef tank and a mixed reef tank to top it off. All these caps, they're just doing horribly because all this is shading it. That's bird's nest is shading it, stuff like so. So I'm thinking about just cutting everything in half and starting from there again. I don't know. I don't have no frag rack or anything, and I don't have room for frags here. And I don't know. I don't know what's next. I don't know if I tear down the tank or keep it alive and go from there. Everything is growing. Everything is growing. The thing is just keeping it from actually not getting shaded and actually looking good. And another thing is not just shading, but getting stung by other corals. I know it's inevitable and it has to happen because it's confined in a tiny little space. But then again, something that I asked for, that's crazy. I touched the counter and all these acros started closing. Let me see if they do it again. Yep, that's crazy. It's a small little tank. It's a Fluval spec, 2.6 gallons. I love it. I love the tank. It's just frustrating me because everything's stinging each other, and growth is something that I have no control over. So I'm thinking of, like I said, doing some major trimming on all the Postulaporas, the Stylophoras, the bird's nest. This tiny little bird's nest, this tiny little piece was actually, I want to say from here where this little fork is right there, that was a size, and now it has grown to this huge piece that's basically bigger than the golf ball. I know it's not enormous, but hey, a little 2.6 gallon is enormous. But just having to trim stuff. I'm amazed at these ugly polythoas that I don't know why the heck I got them aren't killing off the setosa, the branching setosa. And same thing over here. That this, I forgot the name of this damn thing. Samacora. I don't know how the Samacora hasn't. It's always stinging this branching Cyphastria, and it's actually hasn't done anything to it. They're called Valentine Day Massacre pallies. They've actually stung that acro and killed it. And I'm talking about, it didn't take no more than a couple of months. I'm hoping that I can make some stuff look good by trimming it up, and I can make everything start growing fast and doing good, I guess. That's all for tonight. Hopefully with your comments, you guys can tell me if I should trim or if I should just let it be and let everything grow into each other and, you know, survival of the fittest, or what? Um, I got rid of a few things because they were just sucking way too much calcium. One of them was the clam. I don't know if you guys noticed the clam's missing here. There's huge space right there, but it was just sucking too much calcium. I'm talking about I would do a water change and everything would be great. The following day, everything was doing great, and then the following 2 days later, boom, you know, calcium would just be dropped like crazy. Uh, I don't have a lot of acropora in here. I do have some Montes and I do have some bird's nest and stylos and all these and then all these polylepores and so forth, and a few LPS, not too many, but a few. But then again, you know, I don't know what's next. I don't know if I tear it down, or I don't know if I should just trim or trim and dose and maintain everything to the way that I want it to actually be growing at. I don't know. The inevitable has happened. Stuff is growing too much for this too little 2.6 gallon tank. But it's fun. I love this little tank. I've always loved it. I love challenges. I like it when people say there's no possible way and you actually make the impossible possible. And it is what it is. Coco, can you stop? Oh, is it you, Leo? No, it's not you. But yeah, it is. I'm ranting now. So I want to see in the comments, you tell me what I should do. Should I trim and start dosing 2-part? Or if I should just let stuff just grow and let it be? Or if I actually what's the word? Start over. Basically take everything out, little pieces, and start over again. I've always wanted to see the actual tank grow to its full potential, like grow everything in and have everything just like a shade cap on top. I think that would be so awesome. I think that would be like one of the coolest things ever. But I don't know. Comments, please, and I'll be reading.